Today we are going over 1 Nephi chapter 3 verse 13. And behold, it came to pass that Laban was angry, and thrust him out from his presence, and he would not that he should have the records. Wherefore he said unto him, Behold, thou art a robber, and I will slay thee. We're titling this Laban's first infraction. What does that mean? We're going to get into it. Okay, we need to understand some background before we dive into this verse. If you haven't seen 1 Nephi chapter 1 verse 20, the video, go back and watch that. That will help set the stage. But if you remember correctly, Lehi had basically been condemned as a false prophet who was weakening the hearts and the hands of the people by the Judean government. The Judean government had basically put a hit out for Lehi, and he was a wanted man, and the death penalty was what he was going to be facing. Laban, on the other hand, may very well have been the military commander charged with finding and executing Lehi. So you go back, and Laban was the commander of 50. We'll get into that in a different verse. But he was the local leader of the military branch of the government. He very well could have been the one that was in charge of executing Lehi and finding him. And now Lehi's children are commanded to go back and cut a deal with this person for the plates based on a dream that their father had. Obviously, Lehi can't go back. He would be killed on the spot. His sons go back and try to cut a deal with this guy. A seemingly truly impossible task. And we'll see how it goes. Alright, the end of the verse is the section we're going to be looking at. Wherefore he said unto him, Behold, thou art a robber, and I will slay thee. So remember, Laban comes in, asks for the plates from Laban. Laban then accuses him of being a robber and says he's going to kill him. Each part of this sentence is important. Behold, thou art a robber. So first he accuses him of being a robber, and he commits unto him the penalty of death. And I will slay thee. That's very important as well. You're going to see that in a second. According to the law of Moses, he that beget a son that is a robber, a shedder of blood, and doeth the like to any of one of these things, and he that doeth not any of those duties, but even hath eaten upon the mountains and defiled his neighbor's wife, hath oppressed the poor and needy, hath spoiled by violence, hath not restored the pledge, and hath lifted up his eyes to the idols, hath committed abomination, hath given forth upon usury, and hath taken increase, shall he then live? He shall not live. He hath done all these abominations, he shall surely die. His blood shall be upon him. So this is the part of the law of Moses that is coming to the mind of Laban, right? He is a robber, and therefore, according to the law of Moses, he shall surely die. So he commands his army to slay this man because he is a robber. Was he really robbing? No, he wasn't really robbing. That's where the infraction is, right? He is bearing false witness against Laban. So Laban comes in, Laban says, you're a robber, bears false witness, and then commands him to be killed. Now, what's even more important than these laws that we read before is being able to bear false witness. They didn't have iPhones and videos and photos, so witnesses were the best form of evidence. But you can see the problems that may cause when someone lies about something. So they're all over the Old Testament, all over the law of Moses is riddled with not bearing false witness. And the judges shall make diligent inquisition, and behold, if the witness be a false witness, and hath testified falsely against his brother, then shall ye do unto him as he thought to have done unto his brother. So thou shalt put the evil away from among you. A false witness shall not be punished, and he that speaks lies shall perish. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. So you can see from Deuteronomy, if you do bear false witness, the penalty is whatever you suggested the penalty be for the person you bore false witness against. Now remember the verse, wherefore he said unto him, Behold, thou art a robber, and I will slay thee. So according to the law of Moses, if Laban here is bearing false witness against Laban and is asking him to be slayed, according to the law of Moses, now the rightful punishment to the accusation of Laban is that Laban would be slayed himself. What does this mean? According to the law of Moses, Laban, who falsely declared Laban a robber and ordered him to be put to death, would be worthy of the same fate he commanded to be carried out against Laban. death. This puts into perspective a little bit what Nephi is going through, as he's very careful to write these out in a way that we would understand that 1, he was bearing false witness, 2, Laban wanted Laman dead and to be slayed, and if Nephi was rightfully carrying out the law of Moses, he was totally justified in slaying Laban.